All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Alex, also known as Miss Moga. I am a yoga instructor and I also teach elementary school students. So I have been asked to put together a couple of beginner flows to keep you guys moving while you're stuck at home. This is good. Currently we're under quarantine, but however, these sequences are good for really any age ability and any physical no matter where you are in your physical journey. So you don't have to be a yogi to be able to access these, or you can even be more advanced and still take some time, break down the basics, and get yourself moving. So what I'm gonna create is a 3-part series. We're gonna start there. So this will be day 1, and then day 2 will build upon day 1, and day 3 will build upon days 1 and 2. So from there, we will continue to move. The most important thing about yoga that I always tell my students is breathing. So everyone likes to think that yoga, you see all these pictures on the internet of people in these crazy poses and you feel like you have to be really flexible to be able to do yoga, and that is not the case. People become flexible by doing yoga, but that isn't yoga. So traditionally, and I guess historically, the purpose of yoga was breathing. And as we teach students, whenever anything happens or you feel a strong emotion in your body, the first thing that happens is your chest gets kind of tight and your breath starts going, you breathe really heavy. And so a calm down strategy we use is deep breaths. Yoga trains your breathing. So over time, you could begin to control the way you feel by having control over your breath. So as I break down these postures, note that we are I'll be cueing an inhale and an exhale for each posture. Inhales fill up your belly with air. So for a second, if you want to take your hands to your belly, I'm in a kneeling position right now, but you can sit wherever you want. And on an inhale, oftentimes our breath gets stuck in our chest, but let's send it down to our belly. So take your hands to your belly. I know this is often a place where a lot of people don't feel comfortable, but take your hands there, accept where you are, and on an inhale, through your nose, and feel your hands expand as your lungs fill up with air. Then on an exhale, let it out through your mouth. So think of it like a big balloon. We'll take another one. Inhale, fill up your belly through air. Let it expand as wide as you can. Exhale, let it go. One more time. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, blow it all out. So as we inhale, we're often opening up toward the sky or opening our heart in some capacity or lifting from the ground. Exhales are often associated with folds or more grounding postures. However, some poses can use both. So you will hear me cueing, inhaling, and exhaling. Know that that is kind of challenging to keep up with, but just be mindful and see how it goes for you today. So we're gonna start in child's pose. You don't need a yoga mat. All you need is any space on the ground. A towel underneath a hardwood floor would be really nice to take care of your knees, or any sort of carpet will work. So we're gonna start in child's pose. Child's pose, you can take it a couple of different ways. We'll take extended child's pose. So take your 2 big toes together to touch, and your knees can be as wide as your hips, or they can be a little bit wider. You're gonna sink your hips back towards your heels, and then slowly begin to crawl your arms forward. Rest your forehead on the floor. It's okay if you have space between your heels and your bum. Just know that over time, your hips will begin to open and you'll create space to sink all the way down. If you have any low back issues here, I recommend keeping your knees together. You can always fold over your knees and keep your arms at your side. So this is a traditional child's pose, or you can extend your knees and take an extended version with your hands out in front of you. So while you're here, bring your attention back to your belly breaths. Inhale, keep your eyes nice and soft. Fill up your belly with air. Exhale, feel your lungs and your stomach collapse onto your legs. Child's pose is a really safe and comforting place to start a yoga practice. It allows our body to kind of calm down and reset before we continue to move. It's a grounding posture. Obviously, we're really close to the ground, but it also reconnects us with the present moment. So one more full breath in child's pose. Now slowly bring your hands underneath your shoulders and make your way up to a tabletop position. So in tabletop, we want our shoulders right over our wrists and our hips over our knees with your toes untucked. Take your palms, make sure you create almost like a starfish shape, so you have space between all of your 10 fingers. Your middle fingers are pointing forward. Squeeze your belly in. Find extension in your spine from your head down to where your tail would be if you had one, so your tailbone. Take a moment here just to connect, tighten, lengthen. It's easy to feel like you're not working in this pose, but if you're really mindful and set up strong, there's a lot that's going on. On an inhale, take cow pose, drop your belly. Energetically take the heels of your hands and press them towards your knees. Shine your heart forward. Keep your gaze straight in front of you. Exhale, you suck your belly button up and in. Arch your back up toward the sky and gaze between your legs. Take that breath to movement. Inhale, cow. Create a bowl shape with your back. Exhale, press the ground away. Reach the crown of your head toward the ground. Exhale out all of your stale air. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Cat-cow is a really good place to explore how you're feeling on any given day. Often is encouraged to take any movements that feel natural or organic, but that's a traditional cat-cow where you inhale on your cow, and then exhale on your cat. So come back to your neutral tabletop, refine strength in your belly, press the ground away. Chances are your wrists, let's take a step back, shake out your wrists for a second. If you're not used to being on your hands a lot or doing a lot of yoga, kind of putting your body weight there, make sure you always take breaks, stretch out your wrists as you need to. We'll move into downward facing dog. So from tabletop, all you do is you bring your fingers up just a teensy tiny bit, curl your toes under, pike your hips up toward the sky. Now the goal here is you want a line of energy from the top of your head to your tailbone, meaning you want your spine to be elongated. Oftentimes people are really worried about their heels touching the ground, but that's kind of secondary and that takes a long time. So what you want is extension from the crown of your head to your tail. Do that by pressing into your knuckles. Bring your ears by your biceps. Maybe push up on your tippy toes, send your hips up as high as you can. Then on your exhale, see if you can sink your heels just a little bit. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes again. Press the ground away, but soften through your shoulders. Find a length all the way through your spine, and exhale, sink your heels. Now take your dog for a walk here. You can bend into one knee. This posture allows you to open up the back side of your body. Explore any movements that feel good in downward facing dog. Pedaling your feet. Bending. Then we'll meet in a static down dog. So freeze your dog and take one full cycle of breath, inhaling through your nose. Exhaling out through your mouth. Now, bend your knees, look up towards your wrists, and take little baby steps so that your toes are behind your wrists. I'm going to take ragdoll pose. So your knees are hips width distance. Collapse completely over your thighs so you can bend your knees nice and deep here and reach for opposite elbows. Keep your weight in the tops of your feet. Let this posture let go of any lingering stress or tension. Send your breath deep into your low back and your hamstrings, wherever you feel any tightness. The goal is not to work hard in this pose. The goal is to completely release. It's called ragdoll, like ragdolls just are limp. So try to stay limp. Focus on deep breaths. Now bring your fingertips down to the floor. Start to wiggle your toes together to touch. Then slower than you want to, roll all the way up to stand. Still warming up our spine. I like to wiggle. My students and I call that zombieing up. So you zombie all the way up and come to stand at attention. Dial your hands to face the way your eyes are looking. Stand up nice and tall. Lift up through your toes. Engage your legs. So you're going to squeeze your inner thighs together. Reach your head a little bit taller. Settle your toes back down and feel strong, grounded, and comfortable in this mountain pose. Exhale, bring your thumbs to your heart. Samasti Tahi. Close your eyes. And notice how those first couple postures made you feel. We'll flow through all of that one more time a little bit faster. That's usually how we begin a practice, is to flow through those postures. What we're doing is waking up our spine and just catching in with our breath. So make your way back down to your space. Take whatever version of child's pose you took before, or maybe try a different one, and settle in with a few breaths here. Inhale, make your way to a tabletop. Make sure that your bones are stacked, your belly's clipped in. Tuck your chin in slightly. Inhale, cow pose, drop your belly. Exhale, cat, round through your spine and push the ground away. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat pose. One more time, inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Let out all your stale air. Come back to neutral. Take your hands up, just slightly curl your toes and make your way to downward facing dog. Inhale up onto your tippy toes. Straight line in your spine. Exhale, sink your heels. Knowing it's okay if they don't come anywhere near the ground. Press the ground away and gaze between your thighs. Inhale, bend your knees, take baby steps up so that your toes are behind your wrists. We'll meet in ragdoll pose. Maybe sway side to side. We'll add on a little bit here. Take your right hand, put it right underneath your nose, so your knees are going to be nice and bent so that your hand can touch the ground. Straighten through your left leg. You'll do the opposite of me. Inhale, twist up. Your right leg is deeply bent. Gaze up towards your fingertips. Exhale, bend both knees. Left hand replaces the right. Inhale, straighten through your right leg. Reach your right arm high and up. Exhale down. We'll take one more on either side. Inhale, ragdoll twist. Exhale, fold. Inhale, ragdoll twist the other way. Exhale, fold. Heel toe your feet together. Slower than you want to. Roll all the way up. Reach your fingertips up high overhead. Exhale, bring your thumbs to your heart. Thank you for joining me on day one of your journey. Have a wonderful day. Feel free to do this a couple of times, paying close attention to your breath. and work on your alignment. Namaste, friends.